I'm at the Gila River, just south of Avondale. Actually, this is part of the city of Avondale. This guy's gonna do 2 mallards. I'm guessing those are the more colorful guy. The guy with the green head's the male, and I guess the other one's the female. I don't know that much. I know I can recognize them, but I don't. Is that a? Do they mate as pairs? I don't know that much about him. He's tame. He'll come right up to me. I'm surprised. This is part of the river. Now, the Gila is a major river. It's spelled with a G, but it's pronounced Gila. Gihilla. I'm going to get to a story. I got a guy for dumping more industrial pollutants. You got people in there fishing. See how nasty that water looks? You know what I mean? Why people fish out? Of course, maybe they just catch a fish and let them go. I certainly wouldn't eat anything that's been swimming in those waters. Of course, I don't care if it tastes of fish anyway. I can tell this story every time I come down here. I'm going to tell about 3 different stories. Now, the Gila River boatmen, this is middle of World War II. Now, East Valley, it was a German POW camp. These Kriegsmariners were held over there. They knew the Gila River it dumps into Colorado and then dumps off in the Pacific. Now, these Kriegsmariners had broke jail. Now, they had either built some rafts, they'd stolen them, or there's 2 or 3 different stories. If you go, I've got more ducks. Hey, there's some more ducks, man. That's the same ones. But anyway, I'm going to get to the Strata down here in a second. Now, these Kriegsmariners had escaped. Now, they had the police and the FBI and all that looking for them for 2 or 3 days. They hiked through the desert. They were going to make their way to the Gila River and float down the Gila River. You lazily float down the Gila River out in the Pacific, and then somehow, they either got to get up in Mexico. Mexico's a neutral country in World War II. Yeah, that guy come up and pecked my heel. I didn't. I just surprised how tame those guys are. But anyway, these guys had wandered through the desert for 4 or 5 days with the FBI and the police looking for them. You know, they were enemy soldiers, sailors. But anyway, they got to the Gila River and there was no water in it. I just had to wait out there for the FBI to catch up with them and take them back to the POW camp. And oddly enough, 2 or 3 of them, after the war was over, they sent them back to Germany. And after the war was over, a couple of them, they liked it here. They came back and settled here. Of course, they're all dead by now. Next one I'm going to cover was doing something years ago. And this guy was sitting there, and somehow I talked to him. He said, I got to get to Gila Bend. The town, it's actually the town of Gila Bend. But, I said, well, I gave him directions down there. I think you mean Gila Bend. He goes, yeah, I got to get to Gila Bend. And he didn't quite get how that G is silent. It's Gila Bend. Now, there was another one. It's Gila Bend the Gila Bend Hillbillies was a story these guys told on the radio. I'm going to swing you back down to the Strata down there. I tell this story. How this. Now, as the story goes, the Beverly Hills Hillbillies had, the oil money ran out. Old Jed got him on welfare, and welfare money ran out. And the state of California kicked him out, so they moved to Gila Bend. But anyway, old Jethro had never been with a woman before, so with his birthday, so old Jed hires a female entertainment. I'll say it that way for Jethro. Jethro went over to her apartment, and he came back early, and old Jed said, well, what happened? And Jethro goes, well, she kicked me out of her apartment. He goes, well, yeah, well, what happened? He said, you know, he had told me to take the biggest thing I got and shove it where she pees? He goes, yeah. Well, I shoved my boot in her toilet, and she kicked me out. Well, I thought it was funny. That's the Strata down there. Been trying to get up to White Tanks, that waterfall hike, and do that. And jobs keep coming in. I had a job a little bit north of here. Figured I'd swing down here to the Gila River. These people, I know I get those people, they're fishing or they're doing something over there. There's more, I just found the same ducks. I definitely would not eat anything I caught out of this river. You see how nasty that water looks. Now let's run through the valley. Comes up through southern Arizona. I don't want to drop my phone down there. I'd be in the world of hurt if I did that. But everybody They're not supposed to. But everybody's dumping all their crap into the river. It makes it nasty looking like that. Anyway, I'll leave you. Well, the several major rivers, the Salt, the Verde, our Fria, all run into it. Then it runs onto the Colorado, and it's empties it. Well, it doesn't quite empty into the Pacific. As I understand it, empties the Gila River, or the Colorado, empties out in the field down Mexico somewhere. So polluted, nothing will grow in it. That's my understanding. That's probably still, not polluted enough. You could probably put it on the field and grow stuff, but I certainly wouldn't eat any fish I got out of there. Okay, bye-bye from the Gila River.